So it is actually getting kind of dark, but as you can see here is a tree formation kind of thing where branches are crisscrossing onto that tree. That was not made by a Bigfoot. They just fell that way. Hi, I'm Max Ignatieff. About 8 years ago I moved to Washington State, and ever since I've been really interested in looking for Bigfoot. So over the past year I've actually been going on expeditions to look for Bigfoot, and I've actually learned a lot and I found a lot of evidence, and this is what this short film is going to be about. I'm hoping to get an HD video of Bigfoot. Summer I actually haven't had a sighting of Bigfoot yet, but I have had an encounter where I'm very sure that it's related to Bigfoot, and you'll see what I'm talking about later on. So I've gone to a few different places this summer. It was all in Washington. It's a great place to look for Bigfoot. I definitely believe in Bigfoot, but I hate when people see almost anything as evidence for Bigfoot. It's definitely good to have a skeptical perspective when you're looking for Bigfoot. So we're at the side of a trail and we found some possible tracks of something, but I'm going to dismiss it as human because when you're walking barefoot, as a Sasquatch is, he obviously doesn't have shoes, he can't really tear off so much wood. So if he was walking, it would be more like depressions instead of more rugged things like a boot slipping causing things like that. So you got to know the difference between Bigfoot tracks and human tracks. To be able to know that something's a Bigfoot track, it's probably better if it's really far off trail where humans don't walk at all. That gives a higher probability of actually being made by a Bigfoot. Here in the Northwest, many people have some Bigfoot stories to tell. In fact, on my way up to this trail, I actually talked to a few who have their own Bigfoot stories that they share with me.
Alright, well, I was working over in Indianola. It's on the Kitsap Peninsula. Is a tribal land where we were working, doing a creosote removal project. I didn't personally see anything, but one of the Sawyers from the tribe, he claims that that land that we were working in is probably too noisy today, but many times when he goes out there, he sees Bigfoot. He claims there's a family that lives there. A couple of really big ones and small children that they kind of continually inhabit this one area where there's a stream that flows in to the salt water, a lot of woods. Looks like a really nice place. If I were a Bigfoot, that's probably where I would live.
My uncle wants me to carry plaster on me so that I can take prints if I come across any.
Out there is a vast wilderness. Who knows what could be hiding out there? A large amount of forestry is actually unexplored. These are all the mountains that you see from here, but they stretch on and on. And my first expedition of the summer was actually the most exciting one. Now this is a place that I definitely want to return to look for Bigfoot again, because I got significant activity in the area. So that means I'm going to have to keep the location private. Now obviously I know that is a little bit selfish, but I will give away the location as soon as I do a follow-up investigation. The reason why I am being a little bit selfish about it is also because if I disclose the location, then maybe other people looking for Bigfoot will go there and potentially scare away any Bigfoots in the area, and I don't want that to happen. Unfortunately, on this expedition, I didn't have my newer camcorder with me, and I didn't get very much film, but it was definitely the most exciting and probably the best expedition that I've had all summer. We start our expedition in the morning, walking from our campground across a river into the mountains forest. We then traverse upwards without the use of any roads or human trails. We did, however, follow deer trails here and there. Okay, so we made it pretty far off trail and off the road. We hiked a bit, climbed some elevation, and we got to this kind of valley here. A lot of trees. I don't think people go here, and it's quite a good environment for looking for any evidence of Bigfoot. Maybe, climbing up those mountains, seeing if we can find some evidence. That's what we're here for. The camera that I had with me on this expedition actually did a poor job in showing the landscape around me. Oftentimes, it didn't show the mountains in the background very well, and it blended the colors. As you can see here, the sky looks completely gray, which it really wasn't.
Man, I can't stress this enough. Going down is gonna be hell. It's important for off-trail hiking to find the path of least resistance. If you're going up a steep slope, you want to sort of zigzag along, which makes the incline for you a lot less. Okay. How it is just hiking off trail is a river down way over there. We're just hiking off trail, seeing what we can find. We found a lot of deer, mountain goat feces and tracks, but no sign of Bigfoot yet.
Now, we've gotten pretty high up into the mountains, and we found a small road, a mountain road, a dirt kind of gravelly road, and it was closed, but I did see something in the forest that I got really excited about. Turned out it was a bear.
Can't quite control my excitement. I think I just saw a Bigfoot up here. Tree or something? I don't know. Thought I saw something. I'm gonna be serious here. But I think it was, I'm starting to think maybe it was a shadow. Maybe I was too excited because I don't really hear anything. I mean, you'd think it'd probably walk away. So while hiking, we found a small road that's been abandoned. And I went here, and at first I thought I saw Bigfoot, but I realized I was a little too excited as we walked over there. We did hear a little bit of rustling, and we found definite bear tracks. So pretty sure I saw a bear. So we're gonna get out of the area, so we don't want to disturb any bears. All right.
We later did find some pretty fresh bear tracks in the area, so we decided that it probably was a bear. But we did do some wood knocking.
I don't even hear any movement.
Try it again.
So the wood knocks were pretty bad. We were actually starting to head back when we came across what looked like a set of footprints. And they were pretty rough, but we found the better one and started casting it.
Alright, what we have here is, sort of clear this out a little bit unprofessionally, but the main part is that we found a heel with what seems like an arc right here, and maybe this is where the toes are, but we don't want to damage this too much because I think we already sort of might have ruined it just a little bit. Alright, let's take this plastic.
Now, we really should have got a video of the entire layout of these tracks. I mean, we didn't get the other tracks on video for one reason or the other, which we really should have. But here's the better indentation that we found, and this one's the one that we decided to plaster cast, and it actually turned out to be pretty bad. We did a terrible job, and it's learning for us. So we were there with this cast waiting for it to dry, and we were a little bored, so we were just eating our beef jerky, and we were doing wood knocks, and what we thought were squatch noises. We were just basically yelling and knocking trees. And this went on for about 20 to 25 minutes, and we didn't get any responses. And all of a sudden, after all that time, we started getting responses. This is when it happened. It's still in the morning, we haven't seen anyone around, but we get wood knocks, very distinct wood knocks coming from different locations, and they sound nothing like ours, but they do sound the same, and they're definitely not echoes. They're coming from different locations, and that really, really scares us. In fact, we just grab our gear and book it off the mountain. We should have definitely stayed there to investigate, but it was our first time looking for Bigfoot in the summer, and we were scared. We didn't know what would happen to us. We were alone.
Okay, so we got this mountain road here that we're just walking down. We're trying to keep a pretty quick pace because when we did some wood knocking, unfortunately we were too stupid to film it. We got freaked out of us because we heard multiple wood knocks. I mean, at first we wood knocking and doing our calls and couldn't really couldn't really hear anything. There was nothing, no response. And then towards the end, well, and we actually heard very distinct wood knocking from different locations, which really scared us. So we just decided to get the hell off the mountain. And instead of going off trail how we did before, we're just taking this road down because we know it's going to lead down to the main highway. I think it's 93rd or something. Okay.
And we left our plaster.
Yeah, we left our plaster cast there. We didn't want to wait around. Hopefully we'll return for it later on a motorcycle or something. But right now, our main goal is to just get the hell off this mountain.
So that basically concluded that expedition, and I can't wait to get back there and investigate further. For now, let's go on to the next expedition. For the next expedition, I head to the northernmost part of Lake Chelan. Because there are no roads heading that way, I have to take a ferry there, which took around 4 hours to get to my destination. What you're seeing right now is a wildfire that went on while I was there. Luckily, it didn't hit the part where I was going to. The ferry took me to the small town of Stehekin, located at the end of Lake Chelan. From then on, I had a grueling hike up the mountainside to Purple Pass, with an elevation gain of almost 6,000 feet. The climb was very strenuous, taking in consideration that I had a very heavy backpack on, with food and supplies for the next day, or the next few days actually. But when I finally got to the top, the view was absolutely stunning. Pictures simply do not accurately depict the beauty that I saw. All around me were mountain peaks. It was just amazing. That night, I set up camp in a small valley. I did some investigation of the area, but found no sign of possible Bigfoot activity whatsoever. And because I was really tired, I didn't do any night investigation either. So mostly throughout this expedition, I was much too tired to actually look for Bigfoot, but I did enjoy the views, which were absolutely amazing. And when I did try to investigate, I didn't find anything at all. So like I said, the place is beautiful. You can get to there by taking a ferry from Chelan, the south part, the actual city Chelan. It's about a 4-hour ferry ride up to Stehekin, and from then there's a loop hike, which is where I went. So it was also very hot and not too squatchy, if I could say that, but definitely a great place to go. My final expedition for this year took place during the cold of November. I hiked up to Goat Lake. Because it was November, the hiking trails are pretty much left undisturbed, so I might have had a chance of a run-in with Bigfoot. Behind me, I don't know if you can see, some snowy peaks. So what I'm planning on doing today, it's November 11th, I believe, and I'm planning on going up to the Goat Lake, just around here. It's a few miles of a hike. I think it's like 11 miles round trip. But I'm gonna get up there, do some wood knocks, go off trail a little bit, look for any evidence that includes footprints, hair samples, anything I can find. I don't know if Sasquatch or Bigfoot is uncomfortable around dogs. I brought my dog today with me because she loves the outdoors. So, yeah, I've never had any Bigfoot experience with a dog before. I mean, besides finding some tracks, but not an actual Bigfoot experience. But then again, I only had one in my life so far, so I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they're not afraid of dogs, but these little four-legged suckers might make them feel uncomfortable. Come here, doggy. Come here. This is my favorite puppy. She's my favorite puppy. We adopted her when I was in 7th grade. Her name is Angel. Who's a good girl. And she loves the outdoors, just like me. Don't you? Don't you? Yes, you do. Alright, we'll be on our way.
I've reached Goat Lake, and as you can probably tell, it's very windy out here. Sorry about that noise. It's also very beautiful. I'm glad I made it out here. So we're at the lake, as you can see, and I've got a couple different calibers of stick to do wood knocking. Now this one is actually a little bit bigger until I started knocking against a tree and it broke. I'm going to try this one first. It's obviously not going to make that big of a crack on the wood, but I'm also unsure of how well the sound will travel, because as you can probably hear and see, it's very windy right now, and this might not even be heard very well. That didn't last long. The reason I'm doing wood knocking is because Sasquatch, like a lot of actual great apes, people have observed that they communicate through wood knocking. Now, I've only heard what I believe is a Sasquatch wood knocking once, and that was something very heavy. That's why I have this I picked up off the shore over there. I hope it's not going to break. So obviously that did not work very well, and I don't think anything heard this even across the lake, because it's very windy right now. I'm gonna try to make a Sasquatch call, or what I think a Bigfoot sounds like. It's very windy right now. I haven't heard anything, and I wish I had a parabolic dish with me, but so far I think this is the least exciting expedition for Bigfoot that I've been on, because I've got nothing. Nada. Zip. I've had a lot more success in the summer, and I mean, the place is beautiful, so I'm glad I made it here. But yeah, that's about all. So with all the wind, I was a bit unsuccessful in my wood knocking and Bigfoot calls, and I saw this cool little looking place, and I'm gonna go there. There's no trail there, just kind of this stuff, but it seems pretty easy. I might have underestimated this hill, but luckily I'm wearing pretty appropriate shoes for this. Anyways, I came across some of these tracks. They look like deer or something. Yeah, you can tell that definitely wildlife around here. Okay, I hate to quit, but it's gonna be it. It's actually getting pretty late, and going back in the dark doesn't sound too fun. I completely underestimated going up here. I mean, this stuff right here, it's not just ground, it's like a layer of those bushes and other stuff that you just fall through, and I've fallen pretty deep into it. Like, if you step in the wrong places, it's gonna be pretty bad. So, I mean, the place looks cool. Not exactly squatchy, but I'll have to leave it. And might regret it later, but this stuff is actually pretty freaking hard to navigate. And actually, up there it gets even harder. And like I said, it's getting late. Still have quite a walk back. As you can see, I'm trying not to fall through the ground here, and all this stuff is spiky. I hope I don't get I don't have to come back in the dark. That would kind of suck. Okay, I can't hold the camera and do this at the same time. You can see those are my footsteps. Alright. See ya. I just want to take the time and look at these plants. I'm not sure what they're called. I'll have to find that out. But they're very, very sharp. And there's a lot of them. It makes hiking off trail very, very, very hard. I want to talk about a big misconception about Bigfoot. Is a lot of people, mostly people that don't believe, think that the believers in Bigfoot think that there's only one Bigfoot or one Sasquatch or one Yeti. Well, that's not true, and that sounds absurd, but you can see why they think so. Oh, I just slipped, but you can see why they think so, because when we talk about Bigfoot or Sasquatch, we say it as one thing, like Bigfoot. That's a singular, or Sasquatch, singular. And we don't even have a solidly defined plural of those. Like, I think Sasquatch would be Sasquatch, plural, just like deer and deer, because you could say, how many Sasquatch do you see? But with Bigfoot, that's even harder, because some people say big feet or big foots. So yeah, but no, most believers in Bigfoot, like me, think that there's a species of great ape. Most likely, at least what I think so, it's a Gigantopithecus ape, which was around a while before, but presumed to be extinct. But yeah, we believe that, most of us believe that it's a species of primate still living out in the forests. In my case, in the forests of North America, undiscovered yet by mainstream science. Yeah. So something I definitely want to do in the warmer months is lead an expedition that's mostly off trail, because right now I'm today just kind of one day hike mostly. I've been using the trail, and I don't think Bigfoot uses trails because people walk on them, but this is a less popular trail and a less popular season, so that's what I was hoping that I get something. Didn't really, but yeah, my plans for the summer, kind of summer, late spring, probably summer, are to actually have an expedition that's a few days, so you can actually have a lot of time to walk deep into the woods. Okay, so it's actually pretty dark. The camera doesn't show that. I mean, I'm looking at the screen, it looks much lighter than what I'm seeing with my eyes. But a good view of the mountains that are surrounding me right now in this little valley down below. What my dad recently heard about 5 or 6 minutes ago was one stone hitting. It was just one hit. And that was all. So I was standing out here doing wood knocks for a few minutes and I haven't gotten any response. But this place looks squatchy. I guess I'm not too lucky today. Just want to give you an idea of how dark it is walking around under the tree canopy. Actually, my camera even shows it lighter than it is. I don't know if you can see this. I was wondering if maybe Sasquatches find the right trees to bang. I just found one that's with a small stick. Makes quite a lot of sound. Jeez, I don't know if you can even see that. I don't know how to turn the light on this camera right now. I don't have the time for that, but it's pretty dark. I don't seem to get any wood knocks. No responses. I'm pretty behind my family right now, actually. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that you can't see anything. I gotta figure out this whole night mode on the camera.
So this last expedition didn't yield any evidence for Bigfoot, but I'm not too disappointed. I had a great year of squatching, and I look forward to going on more expeditions. Now that I'm a little bit more experienced, I'm going to be looking for this elusive creature. Oh, and I did get a new trail camera, but so far it's only turned up pictures of deer and other small mammals.